Last winter, amidst the biting chill of the season, I embarked on a journey that would forever alter my perception of the world. The purpose was simple, a visit to a few friends from my college days. Yet, what began as a routine trip soon spiraled into a harrowing ordeal that would leave an indelible mark on my psyche. The drive stretched over 18 grueling hours, a test of endurance and patience. Dividing the journey into two sections seemed like a sensible approach, allowing for rest and respite along the way. The first leg passed relatively uneventfully, with a night's stay at an Airbnb providing a brief reprieve from the monotony of the road. However, it was on the return journey that the true horror unfolded. A different Airbnb had been booked for the occasion, a decision made on a whim to inject a hint of adventure into the mundane routine of travel. Little did I know, this choice would thrust me into the heart of darkness itself. As the hours dragged on and the landscape blurred into a desolate expanse of white, heavy snowfall began to obscure the path ahead. Progress slowed to a crawl, each passing minute weighed down by the oppressive silence of the winter night. It wasn't until the late hour of 9 p.m. that I finally reached the small, isolated town that would become the backdrop for my descent into terror. Nestled amidst the snow-covered wilderness, the town appeared frozen in time, its very existence a testament to the unforgiving embrace of nature. A few scattered stores lined the main road, their neon signs flickering weakly against the encroaching darkness. Yet, it was the absence of any significant signs of life that sent a chill down my spine, a premonition of the horrors that awaited me within those silent streets. Arriving at the designated Airbnb, I was struck by its incongruous presence amidst the rustic surroundings. A modern facade concealed within the quaint simplicity of the town, it stood out like a beacon of civilization in the wilderness. Parking my car on the gravel driveway, I approached the door with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, unaware of the horrors lurking just beyond its threshold. Entering the house, I was greeted by the sterile familiarity of the online photographs. Yet, as I explored the empty rooms, a sense of unease began to gnaw at the edges of my consciousness. It was as though the very walls themselves harbored a sinister secret, a hidden truth waiting to be uncovered. Settling onto the couch, I attempted to shake off the growing sense of dread that had taken hold of my mind. Yet, my efforts were in vain, for it was then that the first whispers of something amiss began to manifest themselves. A tapping sound, barely audible above the howling wind outside, echoed through the empty halls, sending a shiver down my spine. Turning towards the window, I was met with a sight that froze the blood in my veins. A woman stood outside, her silhouette illuminated by the dim glow of the streetlights. Her hair hung in tangled strands around her face, obscuring her features in shadow. Yet, it was the wild look in her eyes that sent a jolt of fear coursing through my body, a primal instinct urging me to flee. Summoning all my courage, I approached the door, steeling myself for whatever horrors awaited me on the other side. With trembling hands, I cracked it open, only to be greeted by the woman's plaintive gaze. She spoke of a lost item, something she claimed to have dropped on the road outside the house. Yet, her words rang hollow, her true intentions shrouded in mystery. Declining her request for assistance, I retreated back inside, the echo of her footsteps fading into the night. Yet, even as I attempted to convince myself that it was merely a chance encounter with a troubled soul, a sense of unease lingered in the air like a foul stench. As the night wore on and exhaustion threatened to claim me, I sought solace in the embrace of sleep. Yet, rest proved elusive, as the darkness outside seemed to press in on all sides, suffocating me with its suffocating presence. It was then that the true horror of my situation became apparent, as a sound from the front of the house shattered the fragile illusion of safety I had constructed. With trembling limbs, I rose from the bed, my heart pounding in my chest as I crept towards the source of the disturbance. Peering through the darkness, I caught sight of a figure lurking outside the front door, its intentions obscured by the cloak of night. Summoning all my courage, I approached the door, bracing myself for whatever horrors awaited me on the other side. With a trembling hand, I flung it open, only to be met with a sight that would haunt me until my dying day. A figure stood before me, its features shrouded in darkness. Yet, there was something unmistakably human about its presence, a sense of malevolence that seemed to emanate from its very core. In that moment, I knew that I was not dealing with a mere mortal, but something far more sinister. With a sudden surge of strength, I slammed the door shut, the sound reverberating through the empty house like a death knell. Yet, even as I struggled to secure the lock, I could feel the unseen presence on the other side, its malevolent intent seeping through the cracks in the door. For what felt like an eternity, I battled against the unseen force, each moment stretching into infinity as I fought to keep it at bay. Yet, just as it seemed that all hope was lost, the pressure against the door suddenly ceased, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to echo through the empty halls. With trembling hands, I reached for my belongings, my mind racing with thoughts of escape. Yet, even as I fled into the night, I knew that the horrors I had witnessed would stay with me forever, a grim reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all.